You're making six figures, but you're still broke. Your neighbor makes half what you do and just bought a second property. This isn't luck. This is an inheritance. There's something happening with money that nobody's explaining to you. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Stay with me. Here's what kills me about this situation. You grind. You hustle. You got the promotion, the raise, the title. Your salary went up 40% in 3 years. But somehow, you're still living paycheck to paycheck. Your lifestyle just expanded. The apartment got fancier, the coffee got more expensive, the car got newer. You're making more money than you ever dreamed of, but you feel just as trapped as you did before. That's not a money problem. That's a perspective problem. And the system is literally designed to keep you thinking this way. Because when you're focused on how much you make, you never focus on how much you keep. Let me break down something real quick. Your salary is the slowest way to build wealth. I'm going to say that again because it contradicts everything you've been taught. Your salary is the slowest way to build wealth. Think about it. You can work one job your entire life. You can climb the ladder. You can quadruple your income. But you're still trading hours for dollars. There's a ceiling. There's always a ceiling. You physically cannot work more than 24 hours a day, right? But here's what rich people figured out that you haven't. Your salary is just the starting line. It's not the game. Let me show you the math. Say you make $80K a year. That's your resource pool. Most people take that $80K and they spend $78K on lifestyle. Rent, car, food, subscriptions, the things that make them feel successful. They're left with maybe $2K to invest. At that rate, with market returns, it takes decades to build real wealth. But someone else making $50K, they spend $35K. They invest $15K. Same market, same years, but they're building wealth 3 times faster. The income isn't the variable. The gap between what you make and what you keep, that's the variable. And nobody teaches you that because if they did, you'd realize you don't need to wait for the next promotion. So if salary is slow, what's the move? This is where it gets good. Wealthy people use a system. They understand something called income stacking. Your salary becomes your foundation, not your whole building. Foundation. Then they add layers on top. Layer 1 is passive income. I'm not talking about crypto or drop shipping or some scam. I'm talking about boring, reliable stuff. Rental properties, dividend stocks, digital products, a YouTube channel that generates ad revenue. The point is, money that comes in without you physically working. Layer 2 is business income. And I know, you think you need $1 million idea. You don't. You need something small that serves your immediate network. You're good at something. You know something. Someone will pay for that knowledge or skill. It doesn't have to be complicated. A guy I know spends 3 hours a week consulting for small businesses in his industry. That brings in an extra $2K a month. That's $24K a year on top of his salary. Layer 3 is leveraged income. This is where you multiply money without multiplying time. Affiliate marketing, speaking fees, brand partnerships. The infrastructure is already there. You're just getting paid for it. Here's the real move though. These layers compound. Year 1, your passive income might be $500 a month. Year 3, it's $2K a month. Year 5, it's $5K. While everyone's waiting for their next raise, you're building an income machine that doesn't require your presence. But here's where it gets real. Most people won't do this. Not because they can't. Because of one thing, legitimacy. You feel legitimate making a salary. Your employer validates you. You get a title, a W-2. You can show it to a bank when you get a mortgage. It feels safe. Making your own money, building passive income, that feels risky. That feels like you're making it up. That voice in your head saying, "Who am I to do this?" That's not your voice. That's the voice of a system that benefits from you staying small. Here's the psychological shift you need to make. Your salary is not your identity. It's a tool. It's a resource pool. That's it. Once you separate those two things, everything changes. You're no longer waiting for external validation. You're no longer terrified of losing the job because you're not dependent on it. You're building something that belongs to you. I've seen people go from 6-figure jobs to entrepreneurship, and honestly, the first year is rough. The paychecks are inconsistent. The work is hard, but the freedom? The ceiling disappears. You're not trading time for money anymore. You're building equity. You're building systems. You're building something with exponential potential instead of linear potential. So here's what I need you to do. This week, I want you to do 2 things. First, calculate your actual gap. How much are you making? How much are you keeping? Write those numbers down. Don't look away from them. Second, pick one layer. Just one. Passive, business, or leveraged income. Pick one and ask yourself, what do I know that someone would pay for? What skill do I have that's underutilized? You don't need a perfect plan. You need a starting point. The gap between six figures and broke isn't about income. It's about understanding that your salary is foundation, not destiny. And once you see that, wealth becomes inevitable. Comment below what layer you're going to start with. I'm going to reply to every single comment. Let's go.